you just imposed that payroll tax on businesses like Amazon and others, and it brought in a whole lot more money that you said you needed at the time. That wasn't enough. What are you doing? They're spending outside of their means. They're spending frivolously because it's not their money. It's not their budget. You have a budget of $10,000, $12,000 for a renovation on your kitchen or your bathroom. You're going to watch that money pretty closely. And anytime something goes wrong and it adds to the bill, you're coming up with ideas to mitigate that expense. When you run the Seattle city government, and frankly, most government agencies, it's someone else's money, it's tax dollars. They're not as connected to it. And so over at the Seattle Times, there's a piece of covering the 9 new different proposals that they're looking at, the new revenue sources. Now, I'm going to go out on a limb and say they're going to try to do all 9. Probably not going to do just one. But some of this is rather mundane. For example, the changes to the payroll expense tax that I just talked about, it's called Jumpstart. Right now, they require employers with at least $7 million in annual payroll to pay between 0.7 and 2.4% on salaries and wages paid to the Seattle employees who make more than $150,000 a year. So now they're looking at that and saying, hey, can we change the numbers around a little bit? Could we apply it to a broader range of employers in Seattle? Maybe instead of at least $7 million in annual payroll, $4 million, $1 million. They're looking for ways to take more money from business, which of course would make the city even more inhospitable to business. They're looking at a capital gains tax because now we live in a world in which we completely redefine words for political agendas. The state Supreme Court decided to redefine a capital gains tax, pretending it's not an income tax. And so at the state level, it's bringing in a ton of money. Hey, let's double dip on that tax for at least the people who live in Seattle. So they're talking about that. And the number of what they would collect on capital gains of more than $250,000, it varies. We've heard the 7% number be thrown around, but also Alex Peterson, in one of the most destructive ideas he's ever put forward as someone who is considered reasonable on the council, it would be a 2% capital gains tax. However, it would replace a utility tax. So they think that's going to bring in between $25 million and $30 million annually. I like this one, the high CEO pay ratio tax. Because you know that CEOs that make a lot of money, they're evil and greedy and they're undeserving. Sure, they run companies that have tens of thousands of people and they're responsible for billions of dollars every single year, but they're not worth what they make.